Hello students, today we are going to read English Poetry chapter 8. The title of the chapter is My Heaven. This chapter has been written by Rabindranath Tagore. I suggest you to open your book before you when you are watching this video. First of all, we should understand about the poet in just few lines. Rabindranath Tagore was born in 1861. He belonged to West Bengal. He was a great writer of his time. He was a great novelist, a great poet, a great short story writer, and a great painter and composer also. He was a Nobel laureate for his Gitanjali. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1913. He was the first non-European and first Asian to receive this prize. The poem that we are going to read and is entitled My Heaven. It is song number 35 from his Gitanjali. In this poem, the poet is talking about independence, but we should keep in mind that it was in India of the Britishers' rule. In those days, there was not democracy. People were not free to speak about independence freely. So, in a very religious manner, the poet addresses to God, but thinks and talks of independence. Let's pay attention to the lines of the poem. The poet says, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. The writer says, where the mind is without fear. It means he imagines of a place, he imagines of a country where the people are fearless, where there is no fear in the mind of the people. And the head is held high. Means such a country, the poet is thinking about such a country where the people live their life holding their heads high. Means they do not fear, they do not have to bow down before anyone. They are proud of themselves. They are free to do whatever they like. They are free to do whatever they wish. The poet imagines of a country where people are fearless and they live their lives holding their heads high. Where knowledge is free means where knowledge is free for everyone. Knowledge is given, knowledge is imparted to everyone without any thought of caste and creed and custom, without making any difference in high and low, in rich and poor. Where the world has not been broken up into fragments means where there is unity. We should consider our country a home. A home has a family, family has brothers, family is divided into different brothers, and at a time they make walls in their house and divide the house among themselves. Now our country is a large home and people of different caste, different custom, different religion live here. The poet thinks that his ideal of a country is the one where the country has not been divided by domestic walls. These domestic walls are the different customs, different caste, different creed, different religions. So the ideal of his country is the one where the country has not been divided by any such types of walls. Now the poet says, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. Where words come out from the depth of truth, it means the people are truth spoken. Where the people always speak truly, they do not have fear, they are holding their heads high and they are truth spoken people, they are truthful people, they do not have to speak false statements, they do not have to make false statements for any benefit, for anything else. Where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. Here the poet says that where the people are making tireless struggles in order to achieve perfection in every field of life. People are always busy, are always trying, are always making efforts to get perfection in every field of life in their life. Further the poet says, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. Now, he makes a metaphor. He compares our power of reason to a clear river, a clear stream of water. And old traditions, old customs are like a dry desert. When a clear stream goes through a dry desert, it is very possible that the stream may lose its way. The stream may forget its proper way. Now the poet says that his ideal of a country is the one where the people are reasonable, where the people are not conservative, where the people's power of reason has not been lost in the dry desert of conservation, in the dry desert of old rules, old customs that are useless at this time. It means the people are not conservative. They may be traditional, but they are also innovative. They do not forget what is right and what is wrong because of their conservation, because of their old and dead habits. Further, the poet says, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action. The poet says, O God, O Eternal Father, where the people are guided by you. It is you who is guiding the people of this country, and their outlook is always broad, and it is always going to be broader and broader in future. The mind of the people is guided by God, is led forward by God, and their thinking process is always widening. Their action process is also always widening. In short, the people's ideal of a country is the one where the people have a broad outlook and the people are always doing their actions, doing their work with a broad outlook of life. In the last, the poet says, into that haven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. The poet prays to God, Eternal Father. Father means Eternal Father, means God. The poet prays to God that his countrymen should awake into that haven of freedom. It means in the last, the poet expresses his wish that he wants freedom, a haven of freedom for his countrymen. Students, I think you have understood the poem, and if you watch the video and read the poem carefully, you will not find any problem in understanding it. Thank you for watching.